Who will survive?
Everyone has their favourite WWE superstars, and today I'm going to give you my top 5 favourite WWE superstars of all time. And this is only WWE I'm referring to here, and this is my personal favourites, so if you don't see your favourite superstar on this list, please don't be offended. This is just my personal list and my favourite top 5 superstars. So better get started. Number 5 is Kane. Kane was one of the first superstars I knew when I started watching WWE, and someone that that's known Kane ever since I started watching wrestling, and how long he's been with the company, how reliable he is, how durable he is. I mean, if you exclude Triple H and Undertaker, Kane really is one of the most experienced, if not the most experienced superstar on the current WWE roster. And he's been with the company, well, he debuted the Kane character in 1997, but before that, he had many different gimmicks like Isaac Yankem and the Jerry King Lawler's dentist and that kind of stuff. So he's really been with the company for much longer than that. So yeah, Kane, I have a lot of respect for him, even if what they've done with his character, a lot of people might disagree with. I still love Kane. Of course I do prefer the original incarnation of the Attitude Era Kane from 1997 to, I would say, probably 2000. But I still have a lot of respect for Kane today. He's still a very entertaining character, and his in-ring skills can still hold up decently today, in my opinion. Number 4, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the most influential superstars of the late 90s, arguably the main superstar of the Attitude Era. In fact, it's not arguably, he was the main superstar of the Attitude Era. Of course, you've got The Rock, etc. They were just as popular, but Stone Cold was just a little bit more popular, in my opinion. Stone Cold Steve Austin sold arguably the most merchandise in WWE. In fact, I think that Austin 316 shirt is still one of the highest selling merchandise today in WWE. I still see people wearing that. I might be wrong there, but I'm just assuming from what I've heard, my opinion. And also, Stone Cold Steve Austin, his last match being with The Rock, 2003, which was a good match, and considering Stone Cold had that really bad injury when Owen Hart dropped him on his head, pile driver, in 1997, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that was, Austin done really well to come back to that when that neck injury caught up with him. So, props to Austin for being able to come back, at the peak of his career, the prime, during the Attitude Era. So yeah, Austin, brilliant in-ring worker, still doing stuff for WWE today, such as the Stone Cold podcast, and will likely be at WrestleMania 32 this year in Dallas, Texas. I don't know what he'll be doing, but I know for a fact he will be doing something at that event. Number 3, Edge. Edge is definitely one of the most missed superstars that's retired. One of the most. Obviously, Daniel Bryan's going to be really missed, but in my opinion, a lot of people missed Edge. In my opinion, Edge's retirement came to a more surprise than Daniel Bryan's. Daniel Bryan's was a long time coming. There was there was a lot of people that thought, oh, he'll be cleared, and a lot of people that thought, right, he's probably going to retire. But with Edge, it kind of came out of the blue. Because I remember watching, and when he retired, it was quite a shock. It was really sad. But Edge, all the in-ring work he's done, got to main event WrestleMania 24 with The Undertaker, which I thought was a brilliant match. Of course, not as good as some other wrestling matches over the last, 50 years or something. So yeah, definitely a really good WrestleMania main event. He's been in many great matches, many great storylines, and his last match was at WrestleMania 27 with Alberto Del Rio, which I thought was it wasn't an amazing match, but it was a good match. It wasn't a terrible match. He's a really good heel, and he's also a really good face. He's good at both. Of course, in my opinion, he's a lot better as a heel than he was as a babyface, but still, you can have your opinion on that. It was great as both, had a great tag team run with Christian. So yeah, brilliant superstar. Edge is brilliant. Number 2, Christian. This is probably going to be an odd choice for a lot of people, because you don't exactly see Christian in a lot of these lists of WWE superstars, the favourites. But in my opinion, Christian, why I liked him, when I started watching wrestling, I liked Christian due to his underdog style. I know that he's not exactly an underdog. He's probably one, in my opinion, the most underappreciated WWE talent in history, or at least one of them, anyway, in my opinion. But Christian It was brilliant to see him win the World Heavyweight Championship twice, even if the second win was by DQ. It was still an honour, and of course, me being a big Christian fan, I was all for Christian during that rivalry with Randy Orton in 2011, and that made me really hate Randy Orton. And I know a lot of people felt the same, or at least a few people did, as far as I know, but I might be wrong there. But definitely Christian. He was always able to put on a great match, maybe not a great match, but a good match. He was always able to put on entertaining matches, was a really great, whiny heel, and could also be a great babyface that everyone can get behind. He had the experience, he was a good part of the Attitude Era, had some great moments in the tag team division, some really extreme moments. You know, the ladder matches with the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys, with Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys, and the Hardy Boys. So he's done a lot, and it's kind of a shame how he retired and he didn't really get not really a goodbye. You know, it's quite weird how he retired. He is retired now, but I give a lot of respect for Christian. He's a great wrestler in my opinion, one of the most underappreciated talents the WWE's ever had in my opinion. And number 1, The Undertaker. Now, so we're back to kind of more popular choices for these favourite WWE superstars lists. Undertaker is a lot of people's favourite WWE superstars, if not one of their favourites. And in my opinion, Undertaker is the greatest superstar of all time. When I started to get into WWE, Undertaker was my favourite. He was my favourite superstar. He was one of the reasons I got into WWE in 2010. Because my friend, who loved wrestling, was showing me these wrestlers. And I pointed out The Undertaker, said, "Who's that?" And he went, "That's The Undertaker." And I was like, "Wow, he looks cool. He looks scary." So, and ever since then, I've loved him. I'm glad I got to see him before he went into part-time. I got to see him in that rivalry with Kane. And then, of course, unfortunately, he got injured. The shoulder could only perform once a year, or a few times a year. It's kind of been narrowed down. But Undertaker is still able to put on a really good performance to this day. Some of my favourite matches he's ever been in are matches like The Undertaker and Triple H matches, which I got to see live. Not in attendance, but I got to watch them live, which was brilliant. CM Punk match, Brock Lesnar match, I'm not a big fan of, the WrestleMania 31, but I think Undertaker done well to get out there and put on a match, considering his health. In fact, he suffered a concussion during the match, and I liked his match with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. The Hell in a Cell match was good, I thought it was good as well. And, of course, he's been in a lot of great matches, I'm only mentioning a few. And Undertaker, one of the most experienced superstars, and even though he's not full-time anymore, the fact that he can still go at 50 years old is definitely something to admire. And the fact that he I don't think he'll be retiring at WrestleMania 32 this year, but he could be. And whatever happens with him and Shane McMahon, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So anyways, that's my top 5 list. Maybe leave your top 5 or top 10 or whatever favourite WWE superstars down in the comments below. And if you would like, leave a suggestion on what kind of video I could do next. So anyway guys, hopefully you did enjoy this video, and I'll see you later.